Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of the Gamers Podcast. We're back here. It's been a little while since we did the last podcast. I just haven't had too much to talk about. But just in general for podcasts, I have a few more things planned, so there'll be definitely more episodes in the future. I got some stuff on my notes that I'm planning for, to talk about in future podcasts, and this was actually one of them. So today we're going to be talking about the PS5 Pro. Now, it just debuted, or they just came out with the release for it, and we're going to be talking about it now. Originally, I was going to make this on my thoughts because I did it like on the AirPods Pro. I did my thoughts on AirPods or new AirPods, or did it on the new iPhone a few months ago, or whatever it is it may be. And I was going to do a my thoughts, but I figured since it's obviously a gaming console or a newer gaming console, figured I'd do it directly with the Gamers Podcast. I feel like it would be better, kind of better themed since it is a maybe not necessarily a new console, but it's just another PS5 basically. And again, like I said, we're going to be talking about it, but I figured it would fit best if I made it a podcast rather than my thoughts. It just kind of blends in better. Now, I'm going to be reading from an article here, but I'm also going to be giving my, what I think about the PS5 Pro in general. Kind of taken from the article and kind of like what the PS5 Pro is and kind of what it includes. Now, from what I've seen a couple of videos just from like looking on the internet. People aren't a big fan of it, and in certain ways, it's rightfully so. People don't like it, or people are kind of trashing it a little bit, and we're going to get into that too, just from what I've seen. But we're just going to read this article. It's from manofmany.com and entertainment, and it's just a little bit of an article here. So the new Sony PlayStation 5 Pro will be available to pre-order from Thursday, 26th of September, 2024, before it's available in store from Monday, November 7th, 2024, so it's releasing in a few months here. And the PS5 Pro is priced at the sky-high price of $700, which is, we're going to get into that too. But it's worth noting that the PS5 Pro does not come with the disc drive, which is, if you guys know me, I've talked about it before, would be a big deal breaker if I were, which I'm not going to buy this, not going to buy it. Obviously, it's too expensive, plus I already have a PS5, but it's a deal breaker for me. We're going to get into all that, but if you guys know, you'll know why. So this will also have to be factored into the cost for those who prefer physical copies. This will blow out the price of the new PS5 Pro. It's it goes in like European, like euros, I think. It's kind of pricier, but it's like $700. Now, see, with the PS5, the original launch back in 2020, there was either a fully digital version that didn't have a disc drive, or you can buy one with the disc drive installed, like it's already the disc version or the digital version. Now, when I bought my PS5, I specifically went out of the way to buy a disc version because I have plenty of discs, and I also hold physical copies of like games. Like I kind of hold that now. Obviously, I do buy some digital games too, but it's kind of like I have mostly physical Xbox games and physical PS4, PS5 games. And I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it because I feel like you own it more, and it's more like sentimental that way. And I know I've said that before, probably like recent podcasts and stuff. But so that's kind of how the original PS5s came out. Now this PS5 specifically, you get the regular one without the disc drive, and then it's another like $200. You can buy like a disc drive, or like you install it like a disc player or something like that. So it's already another, I think it's like $200 or $160 disc drive that you can add to the console itself, which is also kind of stupid. And you'll see some of the things I'll disagree with, like a lot of other people do. And you'll need a vertical stand. Well, you don't need it. Like my PS5, for example, I'm just kind of taking from like kind of what I do. I have it lying on its belly, which I guess that's what you want to call it. But you can also do that. But if you want a vertical stand, it's not included with your $600 console or $700 console. You have to get that separately for like $80. Which when I bought my PS5, and I'm really just using mine as kind of like reference to this one, it came with all that. It came with the stand, if I'm not mistaken. It came with the vertical stand. Even though I don't use it, it's still included, which is like, I think it should be included in all packages, which is kind of stupid now. Like when you think about it, like the whole like that they're making you kind of buy everything separately. So now we're going to kind of go into what the actual PS5 Pro is and like kind of like what the difference is. Now it has new GPU with 67% more compute units, 28% faster memory, and it renders gameplay 45% faster. Advanced ray tracing for dynamic reflection and refraction of light, PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution AI upscaling, which has AI, which that was one of the bigger things that they were saying. First Sony PlayStation with 8K at 60 frames per second support. Enhance and upscale 8500 plus PS4 games using PS5 Pro Game Boost. Unique PS5 Pro enhanced labels for Pro games, both new and updated, and it is the same height as the original PS5 and the same width as the current PS5 Slim, which I guess the PS5 Slim came out, but that's kind of like just probably a smaller one. And now it kind of goes more in depth into it. Now this is from the article. Is the new PS5 Pro worth it? Well, that depends. It's the most powerful PlayStation ever and comes with the new GPU with 67 more compute units, as I mentioned, which means a smoother experience for gamers. This new GPU also helps bring advanced ray tracing to the console, which enhances graphics with more dynamic reflection and refraction of light that can happen 2 or 3 times faster than the current console. No tech product release is without a mention of AI, and Sony has added PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution to the PlayStation 5 Pro. They say that this is AI-driven upscaling that uses machine learning-based technology to provide super sharp image clarity by adding an extraordinary amount of detail. This is important because while this is the first Sony PlayStation with 8K at 60 frames per second support, there aren't many 8K games and hardly anyone has an 8K television, which is true. Not a lot of people do have that, and that's just what the PS5 Pro supports. Now, gonna read a little bit more of this article, and now I'm gonna actually go into kind of what I think about it, which kind of hit or miss. With the new hardware enhancements, the PlayStation 5 Pro console can also enhance and upscale older PS4 games using PS5 Pro Game Boost, which works with over 8,500 backward compatible PS4 games. This software features works with enhanced image quality for PS4 games, which can further improve the resolution of select PS4 games. However, with so many games now being remastered for PS5, it seems that this feature will have some very select and use cases. And more importantly, developers need to work with the Sony team to create games that will support the capabilities of this new console while not pushing the limits of the older and less powerful PS5 Slim. Thankfully, the brand has already thought of this, and this will the following games be updated and released with PlayStation 5 Pro enhancements, and will carry the PS5 Pro enhanced label. And it's just a list of games, just The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, which I just kind of noticed that, just because it's my favorite game out of the whole list here, but there's some of the list, and ultimately whether or not the PS5 Pro is worth it, it often comes down to your added hardware. A quality games console is little use if you're not maximizing its capabilities. With a high quality display, and you'll want to make the most out of it with an OLED TV, we recommend the LG OLED Evo C4, Samsung S90D, Sony Bravia 8. Better yet, pick up an OLED gaming monitor to enter competitive environments. Just a list of TVs that you should probably run with the PS5 Pro. And just some other extra stuff here, and what it looks like, that'll be in the thumbnail. And, if you haven't seen it already, obviously it's going to be put it in the thumbnail. That's more or less wraps up the article anyway. Just a little bit of a side thing. Now, what I personally think of it, a lot of people don't like it from what I've seen. I think the PS5 itself, like the base model, what came out, it runs fine, and I think it's for half the price. Like PS5 now can run you to like $400, but it's just like you might as well just get a PC at that point, because I feel like it could run, or PC can kind of run more of what the PS5 Pro can run, and you could get some PCs for cheaper, or around that price of the PS5 Pro. It's kind of the same concept as when I was talking about GTA Expanded and Enhanced. It's kind of like, it doesn't necessarily make sense. Like, I don't think you need to remaster a game that many times. It's just, if I was talking about it in a podcast, probably well over a year ago, but it's kind of the same concept. Like, I don't think it needed to be done. I think it's just more of a money grab by Sony. But I feel like, I just feel like they probably shouldn't have made it. Like, obviously there's going to be some people out there that are going to buy it, but I think the PS5 itself runs fine. It runs a lot of games fine, and it has obviously next-gen capabilities. I think it runs fine. Obviously, I'm not going to be buying it. I don't have that kind of money. Plus, I already have a PS5, and I feel like it's just a waste of money. I don't feel like you're getting that much for the dollar you're paying. I think it's kind of a waste, and I think the PS5 can run itself fine, like the original one. And like it said, and plus you got to buy the extra accessories. Like if you have discs, like if you're a disc guy like me and you enjoy the quality of physical copies, you're gonna buy another. You're gonna want to buy the disk drive that you have to add there for $160, and then you got if you want the stand, then plus if you like how many people have an 8K TV? Like you're gonna have to buy a few things. Then it's probably gonna run you up to like almost $1,000 or more for this console itself. I think you're better off just buying a regular PS5. Just I think it runs fine. That's just my opinion, and obviously everybody has different opinions. But I think you're better off personally just buying a regular PS5 if you're gonna sink that kind of money into a console. Um, but I'm not necessarily a fan of it, and I know a lot of other people are from what I've seen, and rightfully so. But nonetheless, I think it was a pretty interesting topic to talk about. That's pretty much it for kind of what the PS5 Pro is. I just don't think it's worth the price, and that's kind of my final analysis on it. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it for today's episode of the Gamers Podcast. I don't really have too much else to really say about it. Kind of give my 2 cents in. Now, you guys comment down below what you guys think of it, if you're going to end up buying it, or if you think the same thing as a lot of other people. Do you think the whole thing's just kind of stupid and it's kind of like way too expensive for what you're actually getting? Or, if you think what I think, whatever it is it may be, comment down below. I'd like to see what you guys think of it. So, and also comment down below feedback. I always enjoy feedback, whether it's good or bad, for videos and stuff like that. And yeah, like I said, we're going to have more podcasts coming out. I got more stuff in my notes that I want to talk about. Just hasn't been too much stuff to talk about with podcasts, at least before. So that's why I haven't had too much come out. But probably be more stuff coming out in the future, the near future. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So make sure to subscribe for more content, like your video, all good stuff. Discord, Twitch, Instagram, links in the description. With all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.